The opinions in this podcast are all our own.
But the businesses are real chamber members.
It's a chamber chat.
Coming to you from Wahoo, Nebraska. Chamber Chat with Kate
And Kat.
Welcome to Chamber Chat with Kate.
And Kat. I'm Catherine Nygren.
And I'm Kate DeCoste. This podcast is everything Wahoo Chamber of Commerce.
Well, Kate, it was a great ribbon cutting last week.
It really was.
Or was it the week before? I'm losing track of
Oh,
days.
you know what? I think it was the week before.
Yeah, it was right before Valentine's Day.
It was.
So I unfortunately didn't make it.
Right. Yes.
But you
it
went.
was, yes. And it was like a perfect day. I was a little nervous because it was outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I saw that when it was scheduled, I was like, oh gosh.
Ooh,
Like
February outside Nebraska.
Right, right. And especially we had that crazy January winter. So
Yes.
yeah, we could have had like so much snow, but
Right.
the sun was out. It was warm
Uh-huh.
and it wasn't too windy like today. And,
Yes.
you know, because it's like nice out today, but you could blow over.
You could blow away.
They couldn't have picked a better day to go see our very cool project that the Wahoo Utilities and City.
Yes. Yeah. For those that didn't know what we're talking about, do you
Yeah.
want to fill them in? On our mysterious ribbon cutting that was on the nice day.
Yes. So it's a solar project,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the Wahoo Utilities, City of Wahoo,
Uh-huh.
are pretty much putting this all together, I guess. They are collaborating with people that know all the things of solar panels that came in. And I know that this is something that they have been working on for quite a while, even though I had no idea that they had been working on this. Did you?
I did hear that. I think it was in a Greater Wahoo meeting when Ryan gave his report.
Got
he kind
it.
of talked about the solar project that he was really excited about, bringing that in as part of the mix of the energy of Wahoo. We have our own power plant.
Yes.
And so this is kind of a nice, renewable resource mix to it.
And I do think it's such a unique thing that we have our own power plant. Like, not a lot, not many small towns can have that. And I remember knowing that as a kid, I was like, okay, that's nice. Like that they have, we have our own power plant. Doesn't everybody just have their own power plant? Like, where does everyone's power?
They truly don't.
And they don't. And what's sometimes when we do lose, say, like if we have a storm and we lose power, we might get our power way earlier than, say, Omaha folks, because we have ours right here.
Right.
We're not waiting for like Omaha
to control it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So then this is just another step, I guess, into that solar project, and for our utilities to.
Yeah. And there's kind of a cool story behiand it too.
Oh, is
with
there?
Denise Laver.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And so they had been gifted the ground. Denise Laver, the librarian, the director of the library. So they were gifted the farm from a friend of theirs. It was like an older lady that passed away, and she gifted the farm. And her name was Flora Ewert. And she was a librarian.
Oh.
And so she got hooked up with Denise and her husband, Mike. And so they... when Flora passed away, she donated the farm to Denise.
Nice.
Yeah. And so then when Denise had heard that they were kind of looking to do the solar project, she came up with a plan, and they donated 10 acres of that ground that would be put into a trust.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And so they have 6,500 solar panels on there. And so, yeah. And the ground will eventually be gifted back to the library when the panels stop generating. So it kind of helps the city and the library and everybody.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Like, I knew that Mike and Denise had gifted the land, and that they were gifted the land. It's kind of like a pay it forward type thing. But I did not know that whole backstory of that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
And if you don't know where we're talking about, because I've had a lot of people where I've said, and then they're like, where is this at?
Mhm.
It's just it's basically right next door to Omaha Steel.
Yes.
Because I even was like,
Where are
where
we
is
going?
it? Yeah. And then when I went to turn, I was like, oh, well, it's obviously right there. You can see all of the solar panels, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fun stuff happening.
Yeah. So I'm excited about how that's going to like help with our utilities and our energy and
Well, and I just love how progressive our town is, because not that long ago we put in those charging stations for electric vehicles, and now these solar panels that that just kind of have an eye to the future and thinking about some of those more progressive things. I think is really fun.
Oh yeah, and I have told people how we have the charging stations, and people are like, you do? And I think they think that I don't know what a charging station is or something, because they're like, are you sure that's what I'm like? Yes,
you plug in your car.
Yeah. It's by the
not
gas
your
station.
phone charging station.
Right, yes. I'm like, no, I do know what it is. And
Yes.
yeah, we're progressive.
Yeah,
and I do like it.
absolutely. We've got the right people in the right places making things happen.
Yes.
So what should we talk about today?
So thought that today could be a little of more of a mini episode.
Uh-huh.
I almost said mini session because that's
because you're a photographer.
Yes, so
you
that's
have mini
like
sessions.
Yes. So we have a lot going on in March. Some stuff has already started that we're going to talk about, but March we have a lot going on. So I thought maybe today we could just kind of talk about all the things happening. One of the things that is happening every Tuesday morning that I thought this was just really fun. SMC is hosting a Senior Connect, and it's every Tuesday morning at 8:15 in the Hanson conference room out at the hospital.
Oh, okay.
And it's just, they said that they have like some little refreshments, and you just come and, meet some people. They might talk. I don't know. They might talk about some things at what's happening at the hospital.
Have a little bit of a presentation part to it.
But I think it's also just literally for seniors to connect. And so I loved that was happening. A little fun little program.
And that's every Tuesday morning.
Yes.
At 8:15.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then there's also, we are in that season. And you, as your family, are you guys doing like almost like a fish crawl?
We are kind of doing a fish crawl.
Because I actually love this. When I saw your post, I don't know if you posted it on Friday or if you posted it on Saturday, but I don't remember what I saw, because I just remember being like, you stood for 3 hours, but it looked like really good food. And I've been to that church many times. My dad actually was like the head custodian at that church for many a years.
Really?
And one of my best friends got married at that church. So I stood up in their wedding at that church. So I was like, I know it's grown, like the school and all of that has grown since like my dad was there and stuff. But they must have a really good fish fry.
Yeah. Well, it started with the whole idea started with, we went the very first Friday of Lent, and we went to St. Wenceslas Fish Fry in the basement. Me and my 2 kids went.
Okay.
And,
so that was like the start.
That was the start of it. Because I'm like, you know what? 'Tis the season. Yeah. It's Friday. It's Lent. Like, we didn't have any plans that night. So I just grabbed my kids, and they love mac and cheese.
Okay, yes.
And
they have like a really good, I was looking at their menu.
Yeah.
They're having like, I mean, they've always had good stuff, but then they've added some new things.
Yeah, you can get
this
shrimp.
Year. I saw
baked
that.
Fish. And you can make fish tacos. They had like the fixins to make fish tacos. And then they have a dessert bar.
Oh, nice.
And I pick up Eli from like the Civic Center, right?
Oh, right.
So it's like literally like a block, and we could have supper. So I'm like, it's dumb not to have fish. Right. And then I'm like, this is fun. I'm like, we should just pick a different fish place every Friday.
Yeah. No, I love that.
So yeah, we're trying to map out the rest of our Lent season.
Of your season. Oh, I love that. So if you want to go to the Knights of Columbus fish fry at St. Wenceslas Church, you said it's in the basement, right?
Yep. You go downstairs to the basement,
and it's on Friday nights from 5 to 7:30. And I did read on their little flyer that they're going until March 22nd, that they won't be doing it on Good Friday.
Yeah.
So make sure you get there before then, or get there multiple times.
Yeah, absolutely.
This month. I do love a good fish fry.
You can't beat it. And the wait isn't 3 hours like it is in Elkhorn. So there's that. We were seated and had our food right away.
Oh, good. It was like, I guess, that it does help that you're in a smaller town for stuff like that, where you're like, oh, so many people from Omaha, Elkhorn area going there.
Oh, yes.
So then there is also something kind of new that the Wahoo High School Prom Committee is doing, and this is more like a fundraiser for them.
Mm-hmm.
They're hosting a spring fling dance on Saturday, March 16th. It's starting at 7 p.m. and it's going to be at the Wahoo Elementary School gym. And this is for Wahoo High School and Bishop Newman students.
Oh,
and
nice.
I know one of the parents that was talking, and actually is a board member, Julie, was talking about it the other day in one of our committee meetings, and she was like, I just really want to make sure that Bishop Newman students know that they're invited, that this is for them.
It's for all the schools in town,
right.
even though it's at the public elementary gym.
Right.
It's for everybody.
Right. And I know that they did try to get it not at any school, so it could just be almost like
neutral grounds.
Yeah, but they don't really have a budget for it, so like trying to get it somewhere else, they're trying to it's trying to be a fundraiser and all that. So that's why it's at the elementary school gym.
Okay.
And it is $10 to attend, so that again, it's a fun fundraiser.
So
yeah,
getting some funds, and the proceeds help the Wahoo High School prom committee, post prom committee.
Yeah, post prom. Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
We are getting into that season of dancing.
Yes, and that being I feel like you go from like Valentine's to prom.
Yes.
Do you feel like it's like your head has to switch from, okay, we've been Valentine's, and now we're switching to prom, even though, and then all the other things you have to do in between.
Well, and there's some proms that are early. So like the 22nd, I think it's the 22nd of March, 23rd is UTAN.
Oh, okay.
They always have it
earlier.
In March. And with Easter being on the 31st, it's that weekend before.
Right.
So all the sparkles out. So
yes.
That time of year for sure.
Yeah. So we have also the Chamber Awards, and we did talk about this on our last episode. That's coming up March 20th, and that's at the Starlight Event Center, and it's starting like cocktails, social hour, voting happens at 5 p.m. and then the awards are going to start about 5:30, and it's just a fun time to come and just hang out after work, grab a drink. There is going to be a light meal served as well.
Nice.
So yeah, and come see people get an award.
It's always fun to see like the things that are happening in our town and to be able to shine a light on that. And I think that's the best part of that evening for me, is just to, applaud the good work that's been happening in our town.
Yeah, and we did something a little bit different this year where we asked community members to give us some recommendations, nominations, and we didn't get very many, but we did get a couple, and there were things that I was like, oh, I had no idea that they did that. And how, and it's like, we can't know everything that all the good people are doing, because a lot of people, there are people that do like to put out literally everything that they do during a day on social media. And then there are some people that don't. Right. And there's no, whatever, however you do, you boo. So yeah, we might not know, or even if it is on social media, you just might not see it.
Right. You're just not have the right connections to get that information.
Right. So I loved that for this year to get.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping next year maybe we'll get more community members to give us some more nominations.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and you said voting is happening that night.
Right.
So that would be the voting for the new board members.
Yes.
That are going to be seated for the next 3 years.
Yes.
So that's always a fun.
Yeah. Let's see who's gonna be on the board this year. And just kind of is a fun little thing.
So you want to come out after work, It starts at 5, so you don't have to go home and kill time. You can
you can just
go
come
straight from work, go grab a drink, do your voting, and then
stay for the
awards.
For awards. Yeah. And if you are a chamber member, you are able to vote.
Yes. Correct.
So, yeah.
Nice. So that's a lot of things happening in March. I feel like, there's certain months that definitely feel busier than others, but this is a lot for March. And that's exciting.
I know. I feel like you kind of start January, February can be a little bit less of, and then things start spring-ish start like ramping up.
Yep. The ball's rolling down the hill and it's picking up speed.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. Well, and if anybody wants to see this list of events, where can they go?
You can actually go right on our app. We are Wahoo app, and look under events, and that's literally where I looked to see what was going on. So it's a great way. You can add your event if you are a chamber member. You can add your event. There's a little plus sign. It's either at the top or the bottom of your phone. Just depends on if you're an Apple or an Android
user.
Right. And you're able to add your event. And then the office will get an email saying that you want to add an event. And they just have to make sure, they just kind of look at it and go,
make sure all the information's there.
It's correct and everything. And then they'll push it through.
Nice.
And so it's really easy for anyone that's a chamber member or a nonprofit to add
their information.
Yeah.
Perfect.
If you do have an event that's ongoing, kind of like the Knights of Columbus,
fish fry, farmers market,
that's something that unless you want to add those events separately every time, like if there's 20 events, 20 farmers markets, you can, or if you give the office a call, we can actually put it on there for you a little bit easier.
Setting up like a reoccurring
Yes,
event.
exactly. And you're not able to do that on the app, but we can do that on the back end. So if you need help with that, just let us know.
Oh, nice.
Because I know that you don't want to have to sit there for an hour and add the same thing, only a different date.
Right.
Every time.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice. Well, and if you're just a citizen of the world and you've got the app, you can star these events and then you get a notification, correct? That, oh my gosh, it's fish fry. I am hungry.
Yes.
I'm going to go get that for supper tonight.
Yeah. And I think that it might happen. I can't remember if it happens like an hour, half an hour, something like that, where it just kind of is like, oh yeah, awards night is tonight, or yeah, fish fry, I'm hungry. I have no idea what we're gonna have for supper tonight. Right. Well, now I do.
Let's go support the church and eat fish.
Yes. So make sure you star those events that if you flip through the phone or through your phone, flip through the app, star those events, and you can also star those businesses as well that you like or want to have information from.
Yeah.
And if they send anything out, you'll get that information.
Nice.
Yeah.
So handy.
Yes. Get that app.
Yes, absolutely. Well, yay. There's a lot of things happening.
There is.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll be back it's like the middle of March probably with another episode, and we're hoping we'll have some guests. We're not going to tell you who, but we're hoping we can get some guests on here.
Yeah, mix it up a little bit. I love that.
Yeah. Well, as always, thank you for listening today, and don't forget
to keep it local, friends.
This has been a Chamber Chat
with Kate
and Kat.
See you next time.
All the toys.
Like we're not like trying to move this and try.
Right? Remember the days where we shared a microphone?
I know. That's why I'm like, okay, we have a little studio set up now.
Right, we're on air.
We're on air.